Welcome to a semi-final edition of the BCFC Coaches Show. It's playoff time as all four teams begin their postseason quest to the Cullen Cup. In Game 1, the top-seeded Vancouver Island Raiders will host the fourth-seeded West Shore Rebels. During the regular season, the Raiders whipped the Rebels by a combined score of 124-14. The Raiders clinched first place last week on the road in Kelowna, and head coach Matt Blocker says they had a chance to celebrate as an undefeated season.
Well, we enjoyed ourselves Sunday evening on the way home, and then Monday we did our best to forget about that and start focusing on the Rebels.
How are you feeling after clinching first place?
Well, we feel great. I mean, I think anytime you accomplish your goal, you know you're excited about it. But at the same time, sometimes when you up the regular season, there's a possibility for a letdown, and that's the biggest thing we're focused on as coaches, to make sure we realize the real season is starting now, and we expect Victoria to come after us stronger than they ever have. So I'm really happy with the way we practiced this week.
Your average win total during the regular season was outstanding by 47.5 points on average. Did you players ever get bored by winning so much? I mean, this team has been so successful.
Well, I don't think there's ever an opportunity about getting bored when you're playing football, that's for sure. And but in the same aspect, I really believe that this team is maybe the most focused team I've ever been associated with. So we take the next team and the next challenge, and we take it extremely serious regardless of their record or our record, and we try to play our best football. And I really thought it really showed on Sunday that we were mature enough to play kind of a playoff game, and once again we were able to, I thought, to control that game in the second half, and our defense, I thought, was great.
You have the Rebels in a semifinal this weekend. Last time you played them, they had great success running the ball against you. What adjustments have you made?
Yeah, did they ever? Their running back, I think, went off for 200-something yards against us, which, has never happened. So both their running backs, they're both extremely talented. They're both physical. They're both got speed. They both catch the ball out of the backfield well. So, and they catch probably 70% of the passes between the two of them. So, we really have to be focused on the run game. We got to be a lot more physical than what we were when we played them, and we have to go after it. And we feel if they're going to beat us and put points, they're going to have to do it in the air, and we're going to come out and do our best to stop the run.
Do you use that as motivation, looking at the game film from last time you played them and showing your defense, let's get up for this game?
Yeah, I think number 214, I think, has been talked about more than anything in the world, and Coach Hawk made sure it was written on the change room and in our room, and no matter where we were, everybody gets to see what these guys did to us last time. So we're really, really motivated for that challenge, and that's where their bread and butter is. So if we're going to get a win here, we got to compete a heck of a lot better than we did last time.
The other semifinal will see the second-seed Okanagan Sun host the third-seeded Langley Rams on Sunday afternoon. In their two regular season games, the Sun escaped with victories of 33-23 and 15-14. The Sun are coming off a disappointing loss to the Raiders at home during the regular season finale, and head coach Jason Casey gives his impression on that loss.
I'm still disappointed in the outcome, obviously. Our performance wasn't up to snuff, but after watching film, it was just some minor hiccups that we allowed the Raiders to take advantage of. And when you're playing a high-caliber team like the Raiders, they're so well-coached and so talented, they're able to take advantage of that. So I think it just, during the game, it felt to me it was a lot worse, but after watching the film, they're all, again, things that are fixable, and they're a high caliber opponent. So obviously when you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot against a team that's the best offense in the country, they've got studs on defense, they're gonna capitalize.
Yeah, no wasted timing now, because you have the playoffs, as you mentioned. The Langley Rams coming to town on Sunday. How different do they look compared to week 2 and 3?
Probably night and day. Alan Mahota's a hell of a coach, so they're only going to get better each and every week. And now that we're going into week 12 with the bye week, they're going to be better than when we faced them week 2 and 3, but so are we. Our offense is head and shoulders above where we were at that point. Our defense is head and shoulders above. Our return game is 10 times better. Our kicking game is improving every single day. So as much as I'm expecting them to be so much more the team they were in 2 and 3, they better be prepared for us, because we're so much better than we were then.
They've had some quarterback issues as of late. Brendan Lay, their starter all the season, hasn't started the last 2 games. They've had their backup in. Who are you preparing for?
We'll prepare for both. It won't matter to us who's at quarterback. We'll know exactly the two styles that those guys will be running. But again, in a situation like that, throw a 5-yard screen to Downey or just hand the ball off to Albertini, right? So we have to be ready with their entire what we feel they'll do as a game plan from their offense, and we'll scheme for that.
What do you need to do to get the confidence back in this football team in the game, during the game, not during the week of practice, but in the game, the first quarter?
It's basketball, football, offense and defense, special teams. Just go north-south, ram the football down our opponent's throat every chance we get, keep the ball in our offense's hands, keep them on the field as much as possible. We'll have to win the field, and that's defense and special teams. So we'll have to play a perfect game. We want to play a perfect game, and the guys will be ready for a perfect game.
The Rams clinched third place last week with a convincing 42-14 win on the road in West Shore last weekend. They are a team that is flying high with some of the most dynamic players in all of Canadian junior football. As head coach Jeff Alamahota explains the importance of the convincing win heading into the postseason.
Well, I think it was important to get the win. I think for our club, for our team, the way that we came out and played was really important for us to understand that every play, every minute, every game is really important in this conference. And in order for us to be successful, we need to take every game very seriously. So I think it was real good for us. I think it was a good, showing on us on Saturday there. But we know we got a lot of work ahead of us and moving forward.
When people say the Rams are way better than their 5-5 record, how would you respond?
I would say not really. Our 5-5 record shows exactly what we did this year. I think that at times we played well, and at times we took games off or we took plays off, and I think that was indicative to how young we are and how inexperienced we are at some spots. So, I think that really, the 5-5 record really shows where we were at as a football team. Now, I think that we have improved since then. I think we've gotten much better throughout the season. We've improved week to week. But I wouldn't go ahead and say that we're extremely better.
Well, you face the Okanagan Sun moving forward on Sunday in the playoffs. You haven't seen them since week 3. When you watch film, how different do they look?
Well, obviously, they look a lot different offensively, scheme-wise, what they came out with at the beginning of the year. We know they changed their coordinator halfway through the year there, and we see him doing a lot of different things with their squad. Very well coached. They know exactly where to attack on defenses, and that teams need to be on their toes when they're playing them. So we have our work cut out for us on the defensive side of the ball, and then offensively, for us, they always have a strong defense. Their front seven is very good. Their D line is always powerhouse. And we got to try and make sure we work on that and do some things that are going to prevent us from being unsuccessful on that side of the ball. I think they pose a real big challenge for us, the Sun do, and I think if we got to come out, we got to work hard at practice, which we have been. We've been having a few good days of practice here, but really it's going to be a challenge to us, and I think that's what I've been telling the boys. It's a challenge, and we'll see if we're up to it for the weekend. As the road team, what do you need to do early? Well, taking the crowd out of it's obviously, Apple Bowl, the environment up there, the atmosphere. It's great. As a football fan, you look at that stadium, you look at those fans, and you say, wow, that's exactly kind of what you want. That's the epitome of what you want in terms of an environment and atmosphere. So us coming in there, we're going to make sure that, that can't get to us. We can't let those guys get to us. We can't let the fans get to us. We got to just focus on us, focus on our game plan, and just kind of put that out of our minds and move forward. And I think the guys are ready and willing to do that. It's a semi-final weekend with the Raiders and the Rebels on Saturday afternoon at 1 in Nanaimo, and then the Sun and Rams at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna Sunday afternoon at 2. Follow the BCFC on Facebook and enjoy the postseason. Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.